Kids and cell phones. I personally don't know a parent who doesn't have a strong point of view on the subject. For most people, it's not black and white. Considerations include age, and what about restrictions, enforcement, necessity? Joining us this Momaha Monday, two moms and a dad, and that's a first for us. Welcome in Danielle Herzog, Naeemah Goldson, and Joseph McCampbell. You're both first-timers. At least with me, right? Yeah. Nice to see you. Danielle, welcome back.
Thank you.
We were talking with Steve King off the top of the show for him and what age is it appropriate, and he fell around 12 years old. We'll go down the line for each of you. What do you think that answer is?
Senior citizen.
Okay.
Yeah. Not
so
a
never.
fan. I'm terrified. No, not a fan.
And how old are your kids now?
My kids right now are about to be 6 and about to be 3.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of them having it at 12, you know, definitely makes me want to drink.
Naeemah?
I agree that age 12. Because, you know, when they're in middle school and they start playing sports and, you know, they'll have to call you for a ride, perhaps. You have to take them to games. So I think 12 is an appropriate age, but with restrictions.
And what about you?
For me, I'm more in the high school range. I feel like it's a little bit easier to keep track of, you know, what they're doing, how they're doing it, you know, things like that. And also, there's a little bit more responsibility for having one at that point in time. So I feel like 16 high school age is a little bit more appropriate in my opinion.
And what about restrictions, Danielle?
See, for me, that's where I get tricky. You know, I think 12 for me is a little too young for it. Because where are they going to learn responsibility? Where are they going to learn, no, you have to be somewhere on time? And we're in a day and age where adults are all around them. So we're worrying about restrictions for a 12-year-old, and that seems to me a little too soon. For high school, definitely. But the hard part is that now all the phones are smartphones. It's really hard to get one. So how are you going to restrict that when they could just download Facebook, they could just download Twitter, and do they turn in their phones? And so for me, I want to wait as long as feasibly possible.
And Naeemah, how would you enforce the restrictions to make sure that your child is safe online? Because it's an online device, not just a calling device anymore.
Right? I definitely think that, you know, they still have the basic, you know, bare minimum cell phones. I don't think a 12-year-old should have a smartphone. I also don't think they should have access to the internet. Now, you know, you have to put in a password to download these apps and everything, and I think the parent should have the password, and if a kid wants an app, you know, they need to have permission from their parents. So the kids shouldn't have, you know, around-the-clock access to the internet. And I also think that they should perhaps, you know, take their phones and turn it in when they get home and only have it like when they're out, like if they have a game or if they're at school or something of that nature.
What about paying for them? That was always the point. I mean, even when I got a car, I had to pay for the car, had to go in on the insurance, got the first cell phone, had to pay for that. That was part of the lesson. Joseph, where do you fall on the financial responsibility, especially for kids who are texting beyond plans and parents are getting hundreds of dollars worth of bills every month, and it's a shock to the system?
Well, I think one benefit for the financial aspect is the unlimited plan for, you know, some parents like I have with my family plan. My mom still pays for my phone, but anyway, I feel like it's...
And this is why I don't want my kids to have cell phones.
But you know, all jokes aside, I think for the financial aspect, it has to be something that you need to teach your child, hey, this is your limit. It's about that limit. If you go beyond that and it's the 15th of the month or whether it's the 28th of the month, you need to understand, hey, this is what I have available to me. I need to go within my means and learn some of that responsibility using your phone as a, you know, learning tool rather than just as something you can play on all day.
How will you handle the peer pressure part of this as the kids are with their friends and everybody else at school has one and they're upset they don't? What will you do?
Back in our day, I couldn't get Guess jeans, and everybody had Guess jeans. And I feel like there's something to be said about saying no to your kid and them having to learn that no, you have to wait till this point because we're your parents and it's our family rules. You have to pull the cord to get privacy with your friends just like we did.
Right.
You know, and so I do think there's a little bit of a lesson. You don't have to do it because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, the phone mounted to the wall in the kitchen and trying to grab it and walk around the corner just so you could whisper and talk about.
Do you like him or do you like him? I don't want my mom to hear. Like they have to do that. That's part of childhood.
They have to learn how to be conniving.
Yes.
Just like everyone else did.
Yes.
See, we're talking about this on our social media site today, and we thought this would be something that would get you going, and sure enough, it has. So a lot of comments comments already on Facebook, I'd encourage you to swing by there. It's Morning Blend Omaha. And if you scroll down, look for the picture with the cell phone on it, and you'll see that a lot of moms and dads have already shared their opinions. We would love for you to be among them. We're also on Twitter, so feel free to search us out there at OMA Morning Blend. And to our Momaha parents for coming in today, we really appreciate your time. If you would like to connect to them, of course, this blog has grown into so much more. Facebook, Twitter, email momaha@owh.com. We're really glad to have this series with the parents to get your points of view, bringing it to our viewers and giving them something to think about. Thank you all.
Thank you.
And if you